Hello, everyone. I'm going in a little bit early today, so I'm going to give it a couple of minutes and see if I can get you guys on because I had an impromptu soccer game today and was not aware that we were playing soccer. So I am in my car and I won't be back by 8, so I thought I would go before the game was over. So, and daylight was lost. So give me a second and let me invite some people. Okay, so I think I've invited all the people that responded and said that they were interested in the why your pixel is important and why you give a shit about your Facebook pixel and the fact that you should have it installed. So my hope is that you were able to get your pixel installed. If you try to get your pixel installed and you were not successful, please comment in the comments below. We won't be able to work it on the phone, but at least I can know what your web hosting company is and ensure that you have the instructions so that you can install it. If you had trouble with finding your pixel on Facebook on your ad account, let me know and I'll reply to your comments so that we can sort of help troubleshoot that, because I'm going to give you 10 reasons why your Facebook pixel is so important to your advertising endeavors. And if you're going to be advertising on Facebook, you need to have your pixel installed. It is like having it's like you doing advertising is equal to you having cereal with no milk. That's like the best analogy I could have. Like, I mean, cereal is good without milk sometimes, but milk just makes it better. The pixel in your advertising strategy makes the whole reason why you advertise so much more valuable and so much more effective to do. So let's talk about why you need the pixel. Hopefully you trusted me and you installed the pixel on your site. There were a few of you who were not able to install it because there were restrictions on the website that you have. I'm going to talk about some alternatives to not having a website that will allow you to install it, and some alternative Facebook ad types that you can do as a result of not having the pixel. But you're not going to be able to utilize the most powerful advertising means within Facebook if you do not, or if you cannot, should not, or can, or whatever, cannot get your pixel installed. Okay. All right. So 10 reasons why you need to give a shit about your Facebook pixel. If you are ready to do advertising, if you are currently doing advertising and you're not using the ad type conversion, you don't have your pixel installed, you are not utilizing the full power of Facebook ads. And so I went through and sort of wrote out 10 real compelling reasons why. And so if you see me look down, it's because I'm referring to my notes. The first reason why Facebook pixel is so important to your advertising strategy is I want you to think about it as a little tracker. Just like your navigation system tracks where you go, every stop that you make, all of the routes that you make, that's exactly what the pixel does for you. And how it's powerful for you as an advertiser is once you install that pixel to your website and any other site that traffic is going to. And so traffic is merely when someone goes to your website, they go to, page 1, 2, 3, or 4. Facebook pixel, what it does is it tracks every single person who hits your site and all of the behaviors associated with that person, right? So if I love peanut butter, if I click on, I'm, between the ages of 35 and 44, if I am, single, if I have children, if I like, a certain music type, all the behaviors that are associated with me as an individual based on my behavior on Facebook goes along with that tracking, right? So every time somebody hits your website, so I go to your website, I click on your website, Facebook's able to track that hit to your website along with every characteristic about you. So that's very powerful from an advertising perspective. So if you're looking for people who like peanut butter, right, who are between the ages of 35 and 44, who are single with children, right, married with children, you can do that based on the traffic that has hit you. I'm going to talk about one of the ways that you can do that using your pixel. So the first number one reason why your pixel is important is the fact that it tracks every person who clicks on your website, regardless if you're running an ad or not. It's tracking it, and you can create an audience for it. It's tracking every person that hits your website that also has a Facebook account and all of the behaviors associated with that person. Powerful tool. Gives me goosebumps every time I think about it. The second thing is the behavior tracking events that you want to do. And so what do I mean by that? Let's say, for example, if you were on last week's training, I talked about the fact that ads, the different types of ad strategies that you can. And one of the ad strategies I talked about was get email. And that get email, you want to be able to get leads for your products and services, right? So you want to know, let's say you have a two pages in this process. You have an ad, it leads you to a page that is an information page. That's called a landing page. And then the second page is a confirmation that says, hey, thank you for your email. I am now delivering your fill in the blank free offer, whatever it is that you're giving to them, right? Those are two events that can be tracked with your pixel. The first one is that they viewed your page. The second event that can be tracked is the fact that they actually gave you the email address, which is referred to as a lead in Facebook, right? There are about, I think, 9 different events that Facebook can track using the pixel. One of them is page view, which I just mentioned. The other one is lead, which is the ability for you to capture a lead. It can also track complete registration. So if you have something in an event or a training and you want to be able to see how many people actually registered for that, it can do that. Can also track if you're selling something in a shopping cart, when a shopping cart is initiated, when a purchase is made, when somebody has added something to their wish list. I didn't write all the 9 down, but there are 9 different events that Facebook can track via the pixel. Only can be done that. You can track those types of events. So when they go to your website and they perform a particular action, you can categorize those people into the event that they did. And then you can exclude or include them in your advertising, your future advertising. All right. So number 3 is segmentation. So I just alluded to that, is your ability to categorize people who actually execute a particular event, categorize them into separate audiences, and exclude or include them in your ad campaigns. Powerful. This is really, it may sound like super technical and like, why do I really give a shit? But you care, because the more you can control your ad, the more return on investment you're going to get. The more that you can target and laser focus the people that you're trying to get your particular offer in front of, and not waste your money on putting your offers in front of people that are not, 1, interested in your offer, or 2, maybe have already taken advantage of your offer, right? You don't want to run ads against to people who have already opted into your email or have already purchased your item, right? You don't want to keep running ads to them, so you want to be able to exclude them. The pixel allows you to do that. All right, number 4, you can target ads by action. So I've sort of alluded to this as well, too. So let me give you a scenario so that you can get some context on this. So let's say that you're running an ad, a direct ad campaign, and you are selling a product to people already on your list, right? Say you've got a shampoo that you're, shampoo and I always pick beauty industry, so sorry. If you've got another item you want to give me as an example, I'll pick that, but that's always near to dear in my heart. So say you've got a package and you are selling appointments to get that package, right? You want to be able to say your list is 1,000 people and you're going to run a retargeting campaign, right? So it's very targeted. You know the people love you. They're your BFFs. You're running an ad directly to them. Now, let's say you have 1,000 people. Let's say 10 people have already opted into that particular, they've already purchased it, right? They've already scheduled their appointment and they've purchased that particular product or service that you've run an ad for. You want to be able to exclude them from the ad, and all that you would do is you would select them based on the target event, right? I'll show you how to do all this particular stuff when we go through that training. If you're going to be joining me on October 1st in the workshop and you've got a particular ad that you want, I'll show you the exact steps on what you need to do to get that done. But the Pixel allows you to categorize people who have made purchases, people who have completed registrations, whatever the event is that you're tracking. It allows you to categorize them and exclude them or include them in your particular ad. That purchase event is a great one to use when you're running ads where people have purchased stuff. You don't want to keep running those same ads to them. All right, number 5 is the most exciting reason why, and it's called a lookalike ad. So lookalike audience. And so if you're not familiar with that, what it does is so let's say you run an ad and you have had about 100 people hit your website. You can capture that 100 people who have hit your website into an audience. It's called an audience in Facebook. And then you can then create what is called a lookalike audience in Facebook. That lookalike audience, then you can then run subsequent ads against your lookalike audience. And the lookalike audience, what Facebook does is it goes out and it combs its Facebook data and it creates an audience of people that matches the type of person who clicked on your website. So let's say you created an audience of, I just created an audience last week. I created a lookalike audience. I did a registration ad for the training that I did last week. I got 196 registrations. I created a lookalike audience of 2 million people. That lookalike audience includes people who are most likely to complete another registration who have the same characteristics of the people who actually registered for my class. Does that make sense? So it is mimicking and finding people who look exactly like your people who clicked on your ad or clicked on your website, and it's creating an audience of people just like them, right? 2 billion users on the platform monthly, right? You can't possibly reach them all, right? But Facebook knows. They know every single thing that person did, and they're going to go out there and comb and get you a whole new pool of people that meet your criteria. You don't have to retarget. I mean, build up that retargeting audience. It'll do it for you. That lookalike audience thing is amazing. What makes it so amazing is not just the fact that it can do it. When you run ads using the lookalike audience, it nails it. There's not been one situation that I've created a lookalike audience for myself or my clients, created that lookalike audience, and then been able to not utilize that in a future ad and not have a better CTR, which is a click-through rate. The cost of that ad or the clicks for that ad or that action are relatively cheaper than the original target audience that I created. Powerful item right there. Number 6 is ad optimization. Again, you may say, why do I care about this? All of these things that I'm giving you as reasons why you care about this is because it makes your ads cheaper. It allows you to be able to get the results that you're looking for better, right? So if you want to get leads, you want to get purchases, you want to get complete registrations, having this pixel and making sure that you've installed it and that you're utilizing it proper. When you run your ad, you're going to get better results. You're going to get better responses. You're going to get cheaper costs. You're going to get better return on your investment. And that's what this game is all about, right? It's all about making sure that you nail the targeting, you nail the message, and that you get the best amount of actions for the least amount of dollars. All right, number 6 is ad optimization. What that means is if you have your pixel installed and you have, I keep using the lead event because that's where most of you are all in this advertising, is you are working on, hold on, let me see if I can get some more light in here. It's getting dark. All right. Hopefully that's a little bit better. All right. Let's say that you have a ad and you are trying to get emails, right? So the event that you want to be tracking is called lead event. The way that Facebook works in terms of its optimization is that if you optimize the ad for lead, it's not going to deliver the ad to people who only click and like stuff, right? You guys have experienced that. If you're in this group, it's 9 times out of 10 is that you run an ad and all you're getting are likes. You're not getting people to actually do what you want. Sorry, got a phone call, got this. Hold on, let me plug my phone up. Make sure I don't lose you guys. All right, sorry about that. Okay, so you don't want your ad to be run in front of a bunch of people who only click and like shit, right? I mean, clicks and likes, they make your heart feel good, but they don't do anything to your bottom line. The name of this game is for you to get email addresses, get purchases, get engagement, get whatever action or goal that you're set out to do. And it's normally not to get likes. So you want to ensure that so let me follow the train of thought here. So sorry. Our kids just made a goal, so I'm just a little sidetracked. So let's say you're trying to get emails, right? You do a conversion ad and you optimize the ad for lead. Facebook is going to deliver your ad to those people who are most likely to give up their email address, right? I don't know how it knows how to do that, but it does. And so you can only do that through a conversion ad, and that is only going to be effective if you have your pixel installed. If you don't have your pixel installed, Facebook is going to deliver your ad based on your target audience, but again, it's just another little piece of icing on your advertising cake that allows you to even further ensure that the delivery of your ad is going to do it what you want it to do. All right, so that's number 6. Number 7 is that it acts like fine wine, right? The older it gets and the more aged it gets, the better it acts. And what I mean by that is you may not have heard of this, but for advertisers like me, what it's called is your pixel is seasoned. So as you're new, Facebook doesn't know the type of people that are going to hit your website. It doesn't know how people are going to behave. So it's got to learn that behavior based on the type of people that actually hit your website. So what happens is over time, and the longer you're advertising, the better your return on investment get. The easier it is for Facebook to generate leads for you, generate purchases for you, or generate those events that you want, because it knows now what the behavior is on your website or your landing page or whatever you're fill in the blank and places where your pixel is, right? So it's called seasoning. So the longer you're advertising, you'll start to see even your costs go down. So like if you run a new lead ad and you're trying to get new emails for based on a new offer, that's going to be easier for you from a financial perspective, 6 months from now than it is going to be now. So it's not that it can't be done. It's just going to have way more knowledge about how to do it and how to deliver it at the most cost-effective way based on the length of time that you've been advertising. That seasoning of the pixel is the key here. So that's why I want you to have it installed now. Even if you're not doing any advertising, the fact that people are hitting your website regularly. Let's say you are a beauty salon. I know that there's a few beauticians or beauty professionals on, and maybe you have a website and there is you've got SEO on it, and people are finding you because they do a Google search, right? So every person that hits your site, you can start to track that traffic, and then you can run an ad against that traffic and lookalike traffic in the future, right? So it doesn't mean that you actually have to be running ads for you to actually recognize the benefit of people hitting the pixel. You can be realizing now. That's why I want you to get it installed as soon as possible. Number 8 is it's the best way to calculate ROI. So what I mean by that is when you run an ad, and let's say you run a click ad, which is called a traffic ad, and you want to see how many people actually purchased from that ad. It's very difficult to do that. You have to manually do that outside. It's very difficult to do that. I mean, there's ways that you can do it, but you've got to, you could probably do it by a combination of tracking the people, the ads, if you have a dedicated page to that particular product and service, and there's a buy button on there, you can track it that way, but it's very manual in terms of the way that you track your purchases. I'm using purchases because that's something that is quantifiable and most people can relate to, right? So with the conversion event type purchase and having your pixel, you can easily identify how many people actually purchased your particular product or service, right? You can see how many people actually gave up that email address. You can see how many people actually completed your registration, right? I don't have to figure out how many people registered for my training last week. I know exactly. I ran a report and it said 196. I knew every single day. I can run it by day, and I know exactly how much I spent per registration in order to get that, right? That's pretty powerful when you're trying to keep your costs down, when you're trying to ensure that every dollar that you spend is getting you the return that you want. You want to have a way to be able to track that. Having your pixel on your site allows you to do that. All right. So there's just 2 more, and then we'll stop harping on that and we'll talk about alternatives. All right. So the number 9 reason why is improved ad quality. I've just given you 8 reasons why your ad quality is going to be better, right? You're going to be able to control your ad at a greater level of detail than you would be without having the pixel, based on the events, based on having a lookalike audience, based on including or excluding people based on the events that they've done. You can't do that without having the pixel installed and capturing those event types. All right, the last reason is the ad control. So again, I've alluded to this before, but being able to control your ad, have as many points of control to ensure that you're delivering your ad to the right person with your offer is your objective, right? To get your offers in front of as many people as possible for as cheaply as possible as you can get. All right, I am going to pause and see if anyone has any questions. If you do, just comment. If you had any problems with the installation of your pixel, let me know. But for all of those people who actually responded to my pre-post about this live, I gave you instructions on the installation of your pixel. So hopefully you were able to successfully install the pixel. I've given you 10 reasons why you need to have it, plus some. I kind of harped on this, but I want to go to another kind of other topic, because there are some people who are not able to install their pixel. There are some people who were not able to install the pixel, or they, Linda, were you able to install? I hate autocorrect too. Were you able to install your pixel? Okay. Yes, Rhonda, you have a question. Please shoot. Just go ahead and shoot. I know, Carla, you weren't able to install your pixel, so I'm sorry about that. But I'm going to give you some alternatives in just a second. I just want to get some questions answered. If anyone has some questions about their pixel install. I think the most complicated person who had a pixel install was Linda on that Squarespace. That was probably the most complicated set of instructions that I saw, but everyone else's instructions were pretty straightforward. So Linda, I'm hoping you were able to get it installed without problem. I think somebody had a question. If you have a question, just let me know what it is. Let's see if I can get it. Okay. While the questions are queuing up, just put the questions in, and then I'll take a look. I never know if I'm doing this right. Maybe I'm not doing this right. Yeah, I think I'm doing this right. Sorry that you get to see my big finger on this. I think, Rhonda, you had a question. Let me know. Shoot, tell me what your question is. All right, so there's a little bit of a time lag. So put your question in and I'll take a look at it in just a second. All right, so alternatives to those people who didn't have a website. So Carl, I think you're using a salon website, Virlon or something like that. I think Gloria earlier, she had a website that didn't allow her to install the Pixel. I think it was Vistaprint. I had another client over the weekend who was trying to do a website install on GoDaddy, and she was using GoDaddy Central, and she wasn't able to install her Pixel either. And so here's my alternative to not being able to utilize your website with your Pixel is the creation of a microsite. And that microsite can be done through what is called landing page software. If you have heard of Lead Pages, ClickFunnels, OptimizePress, any one of those tools, my recommendation is that you create a microsite. Doesn't have to be a full site with 10, 15 different pages. And really it is just the ability for you to create a landing page and have a mini funnel. And a funnel, again, is just a series of steps and pages that you surface based on the action of the people that land on that particular page. So again, I use the get email as an example. Your first step is after the ad. Yes, you have heard of Lead Pages. That's good. So Lead Pages, my preferred is ClickFunnels. That is what I teach. That is what I love. But there are many other alternatives to Lead Pages. Lead Pages does have the ability for you to install a pixel on and will allow you to track those events. Great way for salon owners who are using salon software to showcase a particular product or service, just like non-salon owners and then really drive traffic to a particular product or service, right? Or even to an appointment. Although that's probably a little bit stretching it, because I'm sure you'd want to make sure that your appointment stayed in your books. But there's certainly some very specific strategies for salon owners that I can share with the group if anyone is interested in that, on how to use Lead Pages outside of your salon software or a lead page software to be able to drive traffic to. But the creation of a microsite, so using a lead page software like the actual company Lead Pages or ClickFunnels, OptimizePress, GetResponse, which is an email responding tool. They also have a lead page generator on the front of it. The value of that microsite is that it usually is hosted by a third party. You don't have to really know a lot about websites to get it up and running. It has the requirements that we need in order to track your ad history like we want, and to realize the benefits of your Facebook pixel like I just went through. And it's really point and click. So it's very similar to some of these third-party website items, but it's really geared toward the advertiser, which is what you are, right? If you're ready to advertise, you are an advertiser. So a lead page software really allows you to have that flexibility without having the deep website development knowledge that some of you may feel like you need. It really is point and click. You can drag and drop a couple of objects. You've created an information page, the ability to collect an email address, a submit button, a payment button, boom, bam, and you've launched, right? It's really not that big of a deal in terms of getting it set up. You can integrate it with your email handling system relatively easy. You can be up and running in an evening with a program, product, service, opt-in, whatever, fill in the blank, and run your ad against it within a 24-hour period. Less than 24 hours, but within a 24-hour period, you can get that done. All right. So that is the alternative to a website. If you do not have a website, recommendation is to get a microsite, and that is through a lead page software generator. I will give you guys some options. Again, ClickFunnels is my preferred option. There are a couple of other ones that I know other people use that they haven't had any issues with, but again, I would want you to have a solution that allows you to track your pixel in it, okay? All right, so then the other thing that I want to talk about is if you've decided not to do a lead page and you've decided your website can't install your pixel, well, can you still advertise? Yes, you can. There are two ad types that I'm going to talk about really quickly. I'm not going to go too much in depth in that because if you're registered for Thursday training, I'm going to go in, not to the devil's depth, but I'm going to go into depth on all of the different ad types that there are and really why you should be using one of them. But the two alternatives to conversion ads that I would recommend for you to at least be able to drive traffic to your website and drive traffic to your offers would be, one, there is a ad type called lead generation, which is an ad type that's intended to keep the user inside of Facebook. That's a new ad type that they released last year. I don't like it because you still have to manage your emails, extract your emails out manually and load them into your email handling system. It doesn't seem like that's a big deal, but when you start getting into hundreds, thousands of email addresses, when you run these ads that are going to be successful like that, you don't want to have to be extracting and importing and doing all that extra mumbo jumbo, right? So I don't particularly like it. Facebook does obviously not want people to leave its platform, so they reward you. I haven't found that it's been cheaper. I haven't done a lead generation since last year, but the ads were very expensive for me, so I didn't think it was any cheaper than doing a conversion ad. Actually, I found much success using the conversion ad. So, but that is an alternative for you. And then traffic ads would be my last absolute option for you, but at least you could start driving traffic to your ad to a specific web page. I would, there would be a very specific way that I would want you to implement that to be able to recognize the benefits of running a traffic ad. Okay, so those are ad alternatives to your conversion ad. If you cannot get your website and you can't do a microsite, right? Okay, so let me see if you guys gave me the question. All right, so Rhonda, I don't see you posting, so I don't know if you're still on, but this is the last thing I want to leave you with before I go, guys and gals. I think there's only gals on here, but gals, is that it's time to level up. If you know that you're ready to run ads, and how do you know that you're ready to run ads? There's two main reasons why you know you're ready. Is that you want to consistently attract and convert people to your products and services. And you want to do it beyond the number of people that you can personally touch. You want to live beyond your referrals. You want to be able to control how many leads that you get on a given day, week, month, or what have you. If you're ready to do that, it's time to level up. And the way to level up is not just by investing in ads, it's also to invest in the tools that are going to help you have successful ad generation. All right? Okay, so with that, the soccer game is ending, and I think I'm done. If I don't have any questions, I'm going to give it 1 minute. And I do not see any questions. I'm going to leave you. If you have any questions that you come up with and you want to leave them in the comments in this live, let me know. But I am not going to be posting this live everywhere else, and most likely will be taking it down by the end of the week. So hopefully you all get what you need out of it, because this actually is proprietary information that I give only in my training programs and to my clients, this level of detail. So if you have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to leave them in this thread, and I will get to them this week. Okay? All right. If there is nothing else, I am going to skedaddle and go get dinner. No? All right. Talk to you soon. Don't forget to register for Facebook ads type training on Thursday. Bye.